All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. My name is Cheryl Sawyer. I'm a senior Ruby ambassador, and tonight we're really just going to do a whole meeting with questions and answers that you guys submitted. I have a list of about 9 questions that we're going to go over. I'm just going to start. The first one was why is our probiotic not refrigerated? I actually went ahead and posted the answer to this one on our group page because there's a lot of words that I can't pronounce. But check out that, and you'll see the actual ingredient that it's talking about. But it says that our main probiotic ingredient is dormant in the bottle. Then it reverts to a growing bacteria in the intestines. So it resists being killed off by our stomach acids. So a lot of live cultures and things that are in other probiotics can actually be killed off by stomach acids. So this one actually activates or releases once it passes that into the intestines. So for the exact names, check out our page because I'm just not really good at pronouncing things. So I went ahead and shared that with you guys. Number 2 is, how do you know how much you should take of each product and when to increase? So this is going to be on pretty much any of our products. When you have your accelerator, your boost, your block, you can start off with 1 or 2, things like that. We always suggest starting off slow with all of our products because you just don't know how your body's going to react. So with the accelerator, the boost and block, I always suggest starting off with 1. And if somebody is sensitive to caffeine or has any kind of concern, I suggest opening the capsules and starting off with half. When I started boost, I started off with half because I am sensitive to things. But accelerator, I started with 1. So that's going to be a personal preference there, but 1 is probably okay with those. Your probiotic and your cleanse, again, start with 1, but when to increase? That's kind of the big question. When do I know that my die-off symptoms won't be crazy if I increase? So for me and my customers, I say, we're going to start off with 1. And then in 2 or 3 days, if you are not having any die-off symptoms, such as upset stomach, headaches, reactions like skin reactions, then you can increase to 2 at that point. But if you are experiencing a few die-off symptoms, take it slow. If you're doing 1 probiotic and maybe your stomach's upset or maybe you're having some acne issues, continue that 1 until that's kind of slowed down a little bit and then increase to 2. But again, it's always going to be personal preference. It's not start with 1 for 3 days, start with 2 for 4 days. There's not a specific amount of time between those. But like I said, just start off slow. And then if you increase to 2 and you have like a lot of reaction to it, go back down to 1. Keep it at 1 until maybe another week or 2. It could even be a couple months. It really just depends on your body. And everybody's die-off symptoms are different. So it's going to be a personal thing. Some people actually start off with a loading dose and just kill it all off. I don't suggest that. You're going to have some terrible days, but some people do. It's just really a personal preference. If you guys have questions throughout this, jot them down, and at the end you can ask so that we don't forget those questions. But number 3 is, if you do experience die-off symptoms, how long will they last? Again, that's going to be a personal experience for you. But if you are experiencing them, slow down a little bit. Definitely increase your water because that's going to help flush it out. But if you're taking 2 probio, slow down to 1. If you're only taking 1, you can also suggest they open the capsules. All of our capsules can be opened except for the Mega X. So have them open it. They can pour it into some type of liquid, yogurt, applesauce, anything like that. So again, the die-off symptom thing is going to be personal to each person. But sometimes they may last 2 days. Sometimes like I said, it could last a month. Just depends on how much issues are going on inside. Number 4, how do I find out specific details when it comes to certain amounts of a particular ingredient in one of our products, or if it has come up a couple times, well, how is your product, what's the word for it? What processed? That's what I'm looking for. How is it processed? Or I had someone recently say, are your cows fed grass or grain? How in the world are we going to, for our P96? How am I going to know that? That's beyond my knowledge. So at that point, if you have a question like that, where it's very detailed and it's not just your normal everyday answer, you're going to want to email products@plexusworldwide.com. So it's really simple, just products@plexusworldwide.com. And a lot of our email things that we have, compliance and all of that, they suggest, or they say that you should get a response within 24 hours. So any type of product question that's a detailed question, you want to send that over to products@plexusworldwide.com. Okay, another question that comes up a lot is accelerator versus boost. So how do we determine if a customer needs Accelerator Plus or if they need the boost? There's differences between the two are that the Accelerator Plus is a metabolism booster and it has the natural mood enhancer. And then the boost is a thermogenic. So it's going to heat up your fat cells and burn them. It shrinks them down. Now, you have to be careful. You don't want to say it kills off fat or melts it away. Your fat cells don't melt away and go away. They shrink down. So it's going to burn them and shrink them down. But so it's going to be personal on this too. But when they first came out with Boost, they said anybody that was looking to lose like 15 to 20 pounds or less, you would suggest the Accelerator. Somebody that was looking to lose 25 pounds or more, to suggest the Boost. But it's come more out to be, if somebody is very active, works out a lot, then you want to suggest the Boost. But if somebody is sitting at a desk a lot or just not very active, that's when you want to suggest the Accelerator. Again, that's going to be a personal preference. For me, I like the Accelerator, and I did not like the Boost. And it's usually, if they like one, they don't like the other. It's not that they like both. There's a few that do, but they are completely different. So usually a customer is going to like one or the other. So in that situation, if they're really not sure, remind them that we have the money back guarantee and that they can try one of the products. And then if the next month they want to try the other product, to determine which one they like better, and then they can request their money back on the one that they don't like. So that's just one way of getting them to try whichever one's best for them. But again, the Accelerator is a metabolism booster and a mood enhancer, and the Boost is a thermogenic that's going to heat up your fat cells. Number 6 is, how do you respond when an issue arises with orders or a shipping delay? This is obviously coming up a lot. So this is something I wrote down for you guys because I want you guys to think about this. For me, when I have somebody that comes to me and they say, oh my gosh, like this has actually just happened to me this week. Hey, I never received my order. So then I'm going to look and I'm going to see if I can find tracking, because now, yay, it's in our back office. We can track our customers' orders. So first you're going to see if you can find tracking. When something comes up like this, you have to remember that this customer, they're the only one that in their mind has experienced this. So you don't want to freak out on them and be like, oh my gosh, every single order is being delayed. I don't know what the problem is. I've already looked into this for somebody else, but I'll look into it for you. Be positive. Don't let them know that this is a major issue. Don't let them know that you're frustrated with this. They don't want to hear your frustration. They're frustrated, but they don't want to hear you being negative about this issue that's coming up. So be professional with them. Let them know that you're going to look into this. Make it sound like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Let me look into this for you. Let me call customer service. Let me find the tracking number for you. Whatever it takes. Be positive with them. I think we can easily get wrapped up in the frustration that you just got an email from one customer saying that they didn't receive their order. You got an email yesterday from somebody who said maybe they got the wrong order. This is a new customer. Treat it as a new problem. And don't let them know about your frustrations that are going on with other customers. Now, this something else you can kind of do is use this somewhat to your advantage in a sense. If you, like I was talking to an ambassador today, and she's like, I thought they said they're going to order, but they haven't ordered. I've used this to my advantage. I'll send them a message as a way to bring it back up. If I don't know how, I can say, hey, we had an error in our system last night, and I know I can't find your order, and I just wanted to make sure that you didn't have an issue placing that order. I mean, you don't want to do that a lot, but you can make that be a reason to contact them and make it sound like, hey, I just wanted to make sure there wasn't a problem because there was an error. Somebody else experienced an error or something like that. So that's just another way you could kind of contact a customer if you're wanting to know why they haven't placed this order and you don't want to sound pushy. All right, another one is, how do we know how should we determine if they want to be an ambassador or a customer? We've gone over this a couple times, but really when it comes to being an ambassador, you want to make sure that they want this business. If they don't want this business, they're going to be more beneficial to you as a customer. Now, if it's somebody who's willing to try the business, then being an ambassador may benefit you more. But if they're a customer, they're going to bring you commission off of their sale, and they're also going to bring you a bonus if they order preferred. But now as an ambassador, if they're just a wholesale ambassador, they just want their products at the cheapest price possible, they don't plan on promoting the business, then they're only really going to give you 5 points if they reach 100 PB. So an example I always use is the triplex combo. If I have somebody who's interested in the triplex, we know that the triplex gives you 101 PB, so it does knock them over that 100 PB mark. So they're going to give you points towards your team growth, but your 5 points if level 1 through 3. So if they give you 5 points, they're only a wholesale ambassador. They don't promote the business. That's all you're going to get from them. So we'll just say that the points are worth $3. They're going to bring you $15 as a wholesale ambassador. But if they come to you and they go in as a preferred customer, they're automatically going to get that 10% off retail. And then after their third order, they're going to get an additional 10% off, which is pretty close to wholesale pricing. So at that point, they're going to give you somewhere between 15 to 25%, depending on your monthly PV. And they're going to give you a $20 bonus. So that in total, through calculations, is going to bring you $35 to $45 for that one order. So you're looking at a wholesale ambassador giving you 5 points and approximately $15, a little less, or a triplex customer is going to bring you $35 to $45 in commissions. So think about that when you're trying to determine if you want them to be an ambassador or a customer. Again, if they don't plan on working the business at all, then you definitely want to encourage them to be a preferred customer. But if they have a little inkling that they want to try the business, then it's going to be one of those things that you're going to have to conversate with them, determine if they are going to promote the business or at least try. But you also, one other thing is you want to remind, if you have somebody that's on the fence, they're just starting out and they say, okay, I want to try these products. Do I want them at wholesale or do I want them as a customer? Remind them that only customers get the money back guarantee. So I always suggest that they try the products before they sign on as an ambassador. They can even just try it as a trial pack just to make sure they even like the taste. There's a few ambassadors that straight on didn't even try the products before they signed on, got their welcome kit and hated the Slim. How are you going to hate the Slim? You didn't even try it before you sign on as an ambassador and you don't get your money back. So be sure they at least try the products before they sign on as an ambassador, and then remind them that, as an ambassador, they do not have the money back guarantee. So if they want to try the products for a month and then decide, then they might want to go that way. That way they do have that 60-day money back guarantee just in case. Number 8 is, how should I order my own products? We definitely want to order our products at wholesale. In the back office, we can no longer, it's not compliant to order as a preferred customer under yourself, having your spouse set up that way or anything like that. It's not compliant. It hasn't been compliant but it was overlooked. So we have a new compliance officer or whatever. I don't know what his title is, but he's going through and he's being serious. We're going to see a lot of things change with compliance, and a lot of things that have been set to be that way. Compliance has been on top of things for a while, but things were getting overlooked that we didn't realize that we weren't supposed to be doing. So if you're going to place any type of order for your own consumption, it needs to be at wholesale through your back office. Now you can also set up an unconditional backup order in your back office. That way, it was pretty much like a preferred order. It's going to go out each month without you having to think about it. But that's unconditional, which means it's going to ship out no matter what your PV is. All right, and the last question I have written down to go over is: are we allowed to do sponsorships for sports teams or any type of thing like that? I didn't have time to really research this, but I do know that any image that you have placed on a t-shirt, even the back, has to be approved by compliance. And to me, you can't say that Plexus Worldwide is sponsoring this business or this event, because you're not Plexus Worldwide. You are an independent ambassador. So for me, my suggestion at this point is to contact compliance on anything like this. The email for that is compliance@plexusworldwide.com. And again, expect about a 24, no more, I would think, than 48-hour response time. But you do want to email compliance. That's the person that's definitely going to give you the right answer. I can tell you what I've heard, things like that, but compliance is definitely going to be the one that you want to contact. Now, if you set up an LLC, or if you at some point go that route, then yes, your LLC could sponsor, your personal business could sponsor teams. But as far as Plexus Worldwide and you as an independent ambassador, I personally would suggest contacting compliance just to be sure. Because again, I do know whatever you put on the back has to be approved. So we definitely want to make sure that we get approved for that kind of thing. So that's pretty much all the major questions I had asked or had submitted. There's a couple other small ones that I will answer on our on our team page. But I do want to take a couple minutes and allow you guys to ask any questions you have. And again, it can be about anything. It can be about products. It could be about back office. It could be about compensation plan. It could be something that a customer's asked you, anything. So at this point, actually, let me make sure Dodie doesn't have anything before I open it up to everyone. But Dodie, did you have anything? I can't hear you.
Hey.
Oh, there we go.
Okay. Yeah, I have one question that someone submitted like right before the meeting. Let me find it. Okay. So this question is, why, I guess this is a customer asking her this, but why do I have to purchase through your web page, and why don't you have inventory, or why don't you keep inventory on hand? My first thoughts on that is that's just the type of company we are. We send people to our website, and you can purchase through there. That way, it does give you the 60-day money-back guarantee. If you purchase something at your wholesale ambassador price, then you sell it, you're not going to get that 60-day money back guarantee. So if someone asks me that would be my first thought on that. And of course, like I said, it's just the type of business we are. It makes our business easier. We don't have to keep inventory. We don't have to do deliveries. We don't have to ship things off and do returns and things like that. Do you have anything you want to add, Cheryl?
I agree. I think it's finding the right word of saying that this is the way our business works,
Mm-hmm.
but
Right.
It's just that's just how our business is ran. You order through the website. Corporate at that point controls the shipments, and they're the ones that control that handle any type of returns or issue quality control if they have an issue with their product. Yeah, I think that's a good question, a good answer. But like she said too, if you do sell, even if you purchase the products at wholesale, and you sell them at retail, and on garage sale sites or whatever you do. If you sell the products and they do not go through your website and they want their 60-day money back guarantee, that's up to you to do that return. So you either need to let them know that, these products have no money back guarantee since you're not purchasing through my website. Or if you don't let them know that and they request their money back, that's up to you to handle. You also have to keep receipts. There used to be a receipt in the old back office. So I'm wondering if it's in the new back office. I haven't seen that. But if you do purchase things at wholesale and sell them at retail, you're supposed to keep receipts with that, because compliance or corporate could come to you and say, okay, you've purchased all this, where is it going? Because again, we can't sell on eBay, we can't sell on Amazon. So you do usually have to have proof of that. They will only come to you if there's a concern. But it has come up even with somebody on our team before. We knew some things were fishy and we had to submit those to compliance. So in that sense, she would have had to show her receipts on where she sold these products that she was purchasing. So if you do sell from wholesale, from personal, and you're buying a lot in your back office, keep a receipt, just in case that does come up. All right, so we will open for questions on anything. You do have to unmute yourself to ask anything.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Say it again. I'm sorry. I don't know if they could hear you, but I couldn't.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I have a few ambassadors that are wanting to go to convention, but they were wondering if there was a deadline to register. Do you know that? I was talking with Lee about it, but we haven't found a date.
Yeah, I haven't found a specific date. They will have one, but I don't know the specific date. I know the early registration has ended, but they're still doing a lot of registration. It'll probably be April, maybe. I don't know if they end at May, but it's close to that end because I started March 20th and I still went the same year I joined. So it'll be April probably.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome.
Hello?
Uh-huh.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right, this is Steve White. My question is, I've had a few people come up to me and asking me to do events. Is there anything against compliance that keeps me from going to schools and doing a presentation for school teachers?
No, not at all.
I've got an invitation to basketball team. I've got an invitation to do an FCA group, which is a Future Fellowship Christian Athletes. Mm-hmm. Is there a limit to how many of those I can do and where?
I don't think so. I've never heard, I personally know of that there's a limit. I see them everywhere. I've done a couple myself. I don't think there's really anything compliant about that. And I'm seeing Dodie shake her head no, so I'm thinking.
Okay. So, for instance, if I go to an event and I have accumulated a backstop, like you say, if I'm purchasing online and buying under my order
mm-hmm.
and reselling at an event, is that going against compliance?
No, that's fine. You just want to keep receipts. You want to keep receipts of their purchase. And
so I need to have a receipt or cash receipt or whatever receipt showing that person bought it, right?
Yeah, it can be any type of receipt. It doesn't have to be the one that was originally in the back office. I don't know if it's still there. Any type of receipt so that if they do come back, you can say this one was sold to Jan and, whatever.
Right.
But again, the money back guarantee, if you sell from inventory, that's going to be up to you. You
right.
can let them know.
Well, I'm null and voided if they ask me about that. I say if you buy direct from me, then there is a null and void as far as the money back guarantee. You're buying on your own at your own risk. Because I know this is a network marketing type thing, mm-hmm. but I am getting a lot of people who like to do that, quote, Walmart thing. They want to buy direct. They want to touch what they're buying. And for some reason, we've got into that kind of market here. But anyway, that was my biggest thing because I've got a lot of people now that are asking me that, I want to see what I'm buying.
Yeah.
They can't taste, touch, feel, or smell it, but, at least they can see the container, which I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess. But I'm beginning, hopefully, by this summer to start doing the events. And I was just more curious about how it would, transpire and make sure that everything's legit. So
yeah, the only things is if you want to have like a banner, make sure
Right.
that is compliance approved. But the ones that you can order online, those are already compliance approved.
yeah, that was my. I'm sorry, that was my next question. Is if I have a banner that mimics my business cards.
Mhm.
I've had my business cards already online, and Christy Moats, which is my upline, liked them, so I guess they were okay as far as
Yeah.
being in compliance with
Yeah,
everything.
they should have been compliance approved if you ordered them online. But if you create an image, you definitely want to submit that to compliance.
Okay, so as far as doing an event and you have advertisements there, I need to send copies to them to see if it's okay.
Yeah, unless it already has a compliance code on it. The images that you'll find online may already have a compliance code. As long as that's on there, that's fine. But if not, then I would submit it.
So what would be outside the compliance code? So say, for instance, or for example,
What do you
as
mean?
as far as images or whatever.
Oh, like if you created your own, or if it has anything that actually states Plexus or Plexus Worldwide, if you create anything, make sure I would just send it over.
Okay.
And again, it does take 24 to 48 hours. It's not like it's a huge response, and they'll approve most of it. They don't want any kind of guarantee as far as
Copyright and all that sort of
things like
mess.
that.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Good.
Good.
That's it for me.
All right, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cheryl, I got a question for you that I got earlier today. One of my ambassadors was asking, what is the age range on, of potentially kids taking products? And she wasn't sure. She's been doing some research. I didn't have a good answer for her either.
Okay, like any of the products in general? Or
Yeah, now I told her, of course, Accelerator and Boost, you wouldn't want to give to any kids. But I know teenagers that are taking the Triplex for ADHD and stomach issues. So
yeah,
I don't know if it's, toddler ages.
yeah. The ProBio, obviously the chewables are good for pretty much any age. I've seen, my boys, they started taking them. My youngest was 3. So we just opened them and poured them in applesauce. I know our upline, her son was 2. So if they're in this type of sense, when they're like, well, there's not a definite age. So if there's any question, then you can say, they can contact their pediatrician for approval. There's lots that have approved the ProBio and the chewables. The cleanse, I always suggest a pediatrician's approval, just because, I don't know, it's just a little different. And then like the Accelerator and the Boost, definitely a pediatrician's approval. I wouldn't even really suggest Boost, but the Accelerator, I have seen even like 13-year-olds take it. Just that really needed the weight loss. But they did get a pediatrician's approval on that.
Okay.
So there's not a definite age, but like I said, the ProBio, I see everyday toddlers taking it, and then the chewables as well.
Okay.
Could I finish up something on that?
Yeah.
You were talking about my wife and I. We own a learning academy, and we have a statement letter stating if a parent is buying it for, I don't know what this is. It's across your phone.
Yeah. Just click free.
Okay. It's kind of blue. Anyway, I had a couple of parents who were buying them for their children who had ADHD, and I also did it, was thinking about doing it for my daughter as well. But when you have a parent that's asking those kind of questions and asking you that, or telling you they may be giving them to their children, we stated to them that if they do, then they need to follow strict guidelines on the labels, follow pediatrician care, and plus, if they're buying something that you think does not need to go to the child, we make them sign a waiver. That they're fully aware of what they can do and what they're buying it for. That way it keeps you safe. maybe going a little bit overboard, but it's a better step to be safe than sorry. And that way, you know, the chewables and the other ones like that are fine. But like you say, when you're giving the boost and accelerator to a 12 or 13-year-old, you're really kind of pushing the boundaries there a little bit. So we'll just be careful.
Yeah. We have about 8 minutes left to.
I have a quick question, Cheryl.
Uh-huh.
I had a new customer order last month, and I went through the different options with her: retail, preferred, ambassador, pricing, because she was concerned about the cost. And she said she didn't want any of the business. She didn't want to have any, sales requirement to meet as far as the $100 that I had mentioned to her about being commission qualified. And so she ended up ordering, I believe she ordered retail. And not long after she ordered, one of my posts on Facebook was one of those that mentioned, no inventory on hand, no quotas to meet. It listed out different things for ambassadors. And she messaged me after that, and she said, well, if there weren't any quotas to meet, then I should have signed up as an ambassador. And I tried to explain to her that that was only going to be beneficial to her if she spent that $100 a month, versus the customer pricing.
Right.
And I tried to explain that to her, and she didn't really understand what I was trying to say. I said that $100 as an ambassador is not necessarily required, but that's the only way it's going to be worth it to you, to pay for that pricing to make yourself commission qualified, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. Is there anything else that I can tell her to help her understand?
Not really. You're going to have the few that you cannot get them to they want wholesale pricing, and especially because we don't have a requirement, there's nothing to hold them back from that. So you're going to have the few. If you just really want to talk about the preferred customers, 10%, and then the additional 10% after their third order, and really try to push that. But if they're adamant that they want wholesale pricing, I mean, you can do it. I mean, you don't want to lose them because they don't. Well, fine, then I'm not going to order. You don't want that.
Yeah.
But if they're not getting 100 PV, they're not going to help you at all as a wholesale ambassador.
Right.
So that's the hard part. But there are a few that I've heard that they're like, I'm only doing wholesale. That's it. Because they're not penalized in our business. So
I tried to explain it like 2 or 3 different times, and I said, does this make sense? And she finally wrote back and said, no, I'm sorry. And I was like, okay. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Because for her, it doesn't make sense because we don't have a requirement. That $100 is not required. They're not penalized. So in that sense, she's really right. Like, well, why not do it? But as a business side, you're thinking, absolutely not. You're not benefiting me at all. So that one's hard. It's just trying to constantly remind or, encourage her to be a preferred customer.
Right.
And the money back guarantee as well.
Yeah.
I was going to say that, Cheryl. I stress, the 60-day money back guarantee versus a 5-day with ambassador with the wholesale.
Yeah, that's good.
That way you can say too, Deanna, about the $34.95. You can say, there is a $34.95 fee. So if you're not, if you're not really going to get to your $100, you're really, that's, you can throw that in there in a way because, if she's only going to buy the slim and she's paying that $34.95, she might as well just be a preferred customer because, after her third order, she's going to get that additional 10% discount. So she's basically getting wholesale pricing. So you could maybe throw that in there as well. And just let her know, the $100 recommendations there or requirements there because that's how you make commission. So if you really don't think you're going to have $100 every month, then it would just be better for you in the long run to be a customer.
Yeah, I tried to throw in the $34.95 in there, and I don't know if I just confused her more because I added that in there, but she still was not understanding what I was trying to say. I told her, I said, the difference between your pricing as an ambassador or as a customer, if you're not getting that $100, is not going to benefit you. And like, I couldn't get there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with Cheryl. If she just doesn't see the difference really, then just let her sign up however she wants, because a lot of people do join just for the pricing and they wind up doing amazing in the business. So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things.
Yeah.
Just let it happen.
I kind of backed off of it for a while, and I checked in with her again last week just to see how her products were working for her. I didn't say anything about the pricing or anything like that. I just said, hey, how are things going? And she got excited about how, like, the difference that she was seeing with her products, even just after a few days. So I thought, well, maybe we'll just give it some time and we'll come back to this another time and see what happens.
All right, any other questions? We got 3 minutes. Good. Everybody's questions are answered so far. All right. Well, I really want to encourage you guys. I'm being adamant about this, and I recently said it, but cold message, cold call, reach out, get off of Facebook. I'm telling you guys, I was told that from the very beginning, even from Tamara, our Diamond Upline. She's like, and I'd reach out to her a lot. I'm like, what am I doing? What do I do different to grow my business? Reach out. But never mind. I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to somebody else. Give me somebody else's advice, because I wasn't about to reach out. But seriously, guys, it took me until I was Senior Ruby to realize, until recent, really, the last 3 months, to realize I've got to do this. And it's so easy. It's not scary. I promise it's not scary. I thought it was too for 2 years now. I thought it was scary, but it's really not. I messaged 125 people this past weekend to let them know about my online event that I'm doing. And I got 2 no's, and they were not rude. One was like, no, it's not for me, but how's your boys? Like, she didn't care. She just started talking about my boys. Another one said that it gave her a headache. She tried it. It's not for her. That was it. I have 15 yeses. I have like 10 that were just going to be out of town, and they're still interested. It wasn't a no. It's just like, oh, I can't make it. I'm going out of town. But still, guys, I opened that door. I contacted 125 people, and I've noticed that I'm seeing more of their stuff on my feed. So they're probably seeing mine as well. So conversate with these people, get a relationship going with them. It doesn't have to be this whole big thing. What do I say? Just be honest with them and just say, hey, you want to talk like this? Just reach out. It'll be beneficial, I promise. So that's it. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.